Was on old Rocky Top down in
From the hills of Kentucky to Old Rocky Top, tonight we honor the life and legacy of bluegrass music legend Bobby Osborne.
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
Remembering a legend. This is Mountain News at 11. Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. This morning we lost Leslie County native and bluegrass music icon Bobby Osborne. Osborne died at the age of 91, less than 2 years after his younger brother, Sonny. They were known around the world as the Osborne Brothers. Probably their best-known song, Rocky Top, was released on Christmas Day in 1967, and years later, it was adopted as the Tennessee state song. Bobby was also known in eastern Kentucky as a teacher and mentor to musicians at the HCTC Kentucky School of Bluegrass and Traditional Music in Hyden.
He's a tremendous teacher, leaves behind many students that he worked with that know more about his style and his music and his view on the history of bluegrass than anybody else.
Bobby was entering his 75th year as a paid professional entertainer. His final known performance was just last week. The singer and mandolin player was a member of the Grand Ole Opry for nearly 60 years. Some of Bobby and Sonny's most notable performances include being the first bluegrass band to play at the White House. He was also a Korean War veteran and earned the Purple Heart. Bobby Osborne never forgot his eastern Kentucky roots, and his hometown always remembered him. WYMT's Madison Carmouche spoke to some folks who say they will simply miss Osborne's presence.
Even at the age of 91, Bobby Osborne was still giving to his community in any way he could.
Bobby Osborne was still very involved with the Kentucky School of Bluegrass and Traditional Music. He traveled weekly from Tennessee to give our students hands-on instruction. And even just recently, he participated in our spring ensemble with our KSBTM students and faculty.
Osborne was a Leslie County native, and his longtime legacy in the community gave them a sense of pride.
So growing up in Leslie County, obviously from a young age you know who the Osborne brothers are, Bobby being one half of that duo, him and his brother Sonny. I grew up going to Osborne Brothers festivals. Bluegrass, something I absolutely love.
As a musician, Osborne was known for his contributions to bluegrass music, with one of his most famous performances being a Southern staple.
Many of us are familiar with the song Rocky Top, and Bobby Osborne made that song famous and truly what it is known for today.
Bobby Osborne is weaved into the Leslie County and Southern history. His legacy will live on in his music, especially in this region.
Yeah, it's a presence that, as a Leslie County, I take great pride in, even if they do have Rocky Top for the Tennessee song.
Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Funeral arrangements for Osborne have not been made yet, but we are told an announcement could come from the Grand Ole Opry. We have more coverage of the death of Bobby Osborne online at WYMT.com. Well, Bobby Osborne was recognized many times during his long career. He was a member of the International Bluegrass Hall of Fame and the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. The Osborne brothers were named the CMA Vocal Group of the Year in 1971. He earned a Grammy nomination in 2017 for his last full-length album. And just this past January, he accepted the Governor's Award for the Arts from Governor Andy Beshear. Bobby reportedly held the title of oldest living Opry member for just a few days after another bluegrass legend, Jesse McReynolds, died on June 23rd at the age of 94. And again, we have more coverage online at WYMT.com, including my 2 Issues and Answers interviews with him in 2018 and just last year.
Well, weather outside this evening, not much to worry about in terms of any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity. A welcome change from the 11 o'clock time frame the past 2 nights all through the region. Here's the view outside from Pikeville Medical Center. 68 the current reading. No, that's not necessarily humidity and haze we're looking at. That is wildfire smoke. Yes, we're dealing with it yet again out there. streaming on down from the Great White North, and it's heading down in our direction. Middle and upper 60s, not so hot this time of year with no snow, but you get the point. Middle and upper 60s out there, low 70s as we head into much of the region as well. Those showers long gone, just a few of those. Just a little bit of that ground clutter on pinpoint Doppler. There's where we had a couple a little bit earlier. Forecast first through the evening and into the morning hours. We'll see that potential for low to mid 60s out there as we head through the morning hours. Just watch out for that fog. I think a lot of us are going to be dealing with some of that as we work through the morning hours. Just leave a little extra time to get where you need to go. Steve, I've got the latest on when we see a return to some more perhaps stormy activity in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. For 2 days, people have been working to clean up the mess left behind by this weekend's storms, particularly in central Kentucky. As Samantha Valentino shows us, the strong storms left significant damage to homes and cars in Madison County.
This side of Richmond got tore up pretty bad.
And Alan Thomas's home is no exception.
Beat the vinyl siding up, and then the roof on this side. There was a guy here yesterday, climbed up. He was a roofing guy, and he climbed up there, and he said our roof is shot.
Josh Huffman works for World Class Contracting in Lexington. He says the damage here in Richmond is the worst he's seen.
This is the first time I've seen this much catastrophic damage to the siding and windows.
And the stories he's heard while surveying the damage are even worse.
Either one lady we talked to in this neighborhood that said it sucked her front door all the way off the hinges while she was inside.
A scary scene, a feeling Alan Thomas can relate to.
And the wind and rain was just blowing in sheets. It was scary. And I mean, I used to not get scared of storms, but I'm getting older, I guess.
Large hail did a number on Thomas's truck too.
His custom paint job got beat up by the hail Sunday evenings.
It left at least a couple dozen dings along the side of his truck.
Oh, the hail lasted about 15, 20 minutes, I know, because I kept hearing dings and bangs and all kinds of stuff.
And it left quite the mess behind. In Madison County, Samantha Valentino, WQIT.
It's unbelievable. There's also concern and frustration in Madison County after weather radios failed the night of the severe storms. Emergency management officials are working with the National Weather Service to find out what went wrong. In Rowan County, Moorhead police are asking for your help finding the person who broke into a church. It happened at the First Baptist Church. Police say the suspect broke in and stole a large amount of money from a church fundraiser. Anyone with information is asked to call the Moorhead Police Department. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department has arrested a man for theft. 26-year-old Kenny Wagers from Manchester is charged with burglary and trespassing after he was caught at a business off US 25 just north of London. Police began their search for him last Monday. He was arrested yesterday. He's now in the Clay County Jail. A newly passed law will take effect in Kentucky later this week, but some businesses are already turning off their gray machines. The slot machine lookalikes popped up in gas stations and bars across the state, but the state legislature banned them during the last legislative session. One business owner says his machines are manufactured by Pace-O-Matic. A couple of weeks ago, the company had techs remove the chips from every machine before returning them to the company. Business owners say the loss of these machines is going to be a significant hit to their bottom line.
We actually got used to the income because we were relying on it, and now it's like it would actually pay for our light bill.
Violating the ban could cost $25,000. The ban is still being challenged in court, but it could be some time before it's heard by a judge. And lawmakers may take another shot at regulating the machines and bringing them back. With many kids out of school for summer break, they may be turning to social media to occupy their time. But the more kids are on social media, the higher risk it is for them to become a target for online predators. Gilbert Achardo with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office says caregivers should be monitoring their kids' online presence, even if it is through their phone's parental controls option. It is crucial to ensure kids never message strangers online or post photos of themselves without their parents' permission.
I think they need to monitor their child, turn them loose with some safety rules, tell them what the rules are. And if they violate the rules, then, you know, take their phone away from them or take the internet away from them. But definitely use those controls and monitor your child.
WYMT's Alyssa Williams will be sitting down with Kentucky State Police tomorrow to learn more about the tactics online predators rely on to engage with children online. Prestonsburg Police Chief Randy Woods has resigned. He's been on the job for nearly 2 years. Director of Public Safety Ross Shurtleff will act as the interim chief. The announcement comes just days before the first anniversary of the shooting in Allen that killed 3 officers and a canine. In a statement to WYMT, Randy Woods wrote, quote, "It's been an honor and privilege to serve with the men and women at Prestonsburg, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve the citizens of Prestonsburg. This decision did not come lightly and has weighed heavily on me and my family since the horrific events of June 30th, 2022. And after much consideration and prayer, I made the decision to move on and into the next chapter." New tonight, a judge dismissed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of 2 Kentucky laws that ban near all abortions in the state. That's according to the Kentucky Lantern. We told you last week the ACLU filed a motion to dismiss the case. A state Supreme Court decision prompted the move. Justices say abortion providers lack standing to sue on behalf of patients. Now ACLU lawyers are looking for people trying to get abortions who want to challenge the ban. Groups like Kentucky Right to Life are celebrating the motion to dismiss. A Kentucky labor union is asking for the state executive branch ethics commission to investigate political donations made to Attorney General Daniel Cameron. We told you yesterday that Cameron is accused of soliciting campaign donations from a drug treatment center that his office was investigating. The Attorney General's office started that investigation last year. His campaign says those donations were later refunded and he recused himself from that case. Now the AFL-CIO is asking for a new ethics investigation. They say it's necessary to ensure accountability for elected officials. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is coming to Kentucky. He will reportedly highlight major infrastructure projects Thursday morning. Now, specific details have not been released. The White House has recently been touting investments coming out of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, including $1.1 billion announced yesterday to improve high-speed internet in the Commonwealth. Animal experts are warning pet owners to prepare early to keep their pets safe on July 4th. Animal care and control officials say this time of year is their busiest because many pets run off after being scared by fireworks. They recommend keeping ID on your pets so they can be found if they get lost, and they say if your pet needs medicine to try and stay calm on the 4th, the time to get that is now. The city of Pikeville has fireworks and several other fun events planned in the next 2 weeks. On Friday, the Doobie Brothers' 50th anniversary tour will be coming to the Appalachian Wireless Arena. Then comes Independence Day with food, music, face painting, and much more to enjoy, with fireworks following. Officials say the event was downsized a bit due to the 4th falling on a Tuesday this year, but that does not mean there's not plenty of fun to be had.
Well, being a Tuesday, you have people who are going to have to work Monday, they're going to have to work after. So we decided to downscale a little bit and do a good old-fashioned 4th of July Independence Day celebration.
Roberts also added that there are even more events next Friday, July 7th, such as Pikeville's Food Truck Friday, Main Street Live, a Jeep show, and more. Now, you can find out more about local Independence Day celebrations, specifically when the fireworks shows are going to happen across the region, on our website at WYMT.com. We've compiled a list for you. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we'll take you to the ribbon cutting ceremony for a new convenience store in eastern Kentucky.
And storms are gone for now, but not for long. Details on the heat as well on the way.
From birthdays to wedding days, from first days on the job